we want leadership to guide the House as to what next.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for rendering an apology on behalf of this House to our colleague, the Honorable Zaneto Rawlings. Mr. Speaker, we are indeed very grateful to you. And Mr. Speaker, I will join you to urge colleagues to be decorous in the way that we conduct ourselves in the chamber. I believe that the investigation that you have launched will definitely unravel the individual who engaged in such a reckless comment. And I also urge whoever it is to own up as directed by the Speaker. And I want to assure this House that when we ultimately establish the identity of that person, the full weight of this side of the House will stand firmly behind the Privileges Committee when they seek to exact the highest penalty of this House. So, Speaker, on that note, let me apply that we take the urgent question, number 7B. 7B. 7B, the urgent question. We're agreed on that. After the Minister's presentation on green transition, we will take the urgent question.
Minority from bench.
Speaker, may you permit me to make a brief comment as I heard the Majority Leader commend you for your statement. Speaker, I recall an incident happened and it's related to me, and I had come under the appropriate orders to seek your intervention. And I recall, so I will respect, your feedback was that the lady in question was going to be invited by you. It's a different matter, yes. I am a bit taken aback that I've still not heard anything from you, and it's quite worrying. I'm only bringing it to your attention. I am unable to comment absolutely on the statement you made regarding our dear colleague. Many of us have spoken on the subject matter outside this chamber. But once the Speaker has spoken, it brings finality to it. We are hoping we can bring this matter to a close. I'm hoping we can bring this matter to a close. But I'm taken aback that mine has taken close to 3 weeks. The Speaker had assured that we will engage the two of us. I am reliably informed the lady was invited. I was not invited. Speaker, I'm just bringing this to your attention. But I will leave the decision in your bosom. And you are experienced and clothed with the powers to guide this House in all matters. So I will just bring this to your notice and hoping that we can bring finality to it. Yeah, that notwithstanding, Speaker, no. Application made is for us to Speaker, what? Speaker, on this occasion, permit me to make a point. And ordinarily, I would not speak to her, because I thought in this house sometimes emotions go high and some comments are made. But on the said day, when the supposed comment was made, our colleague also made a very damning comment. No.
Honorable.
Leader. Speaker, on that said day, our colleague...
Honorable members, please, just a minute. Honorable members, some of you just are a few days old in Parliament. It doesn't matter. I'm looking at you. Repeat what you said. Please. If I were such a biased person, I couldn't have wanted to be a speaker in opposition. Please. I'm begging before you came into this house. Your minority leader spoke. I've given him enough time to speak, and he's still speaking. He knows how close he is to me. And he knows that I will not ignore the issue I took upon myself. And he has mentioned that I have invited the lady concerned. It's not that I will not invite him. It's a process. And he knows what has intervened up to now. If not by this time, I would have finished doing that. So please, don't think we are all the same. We are not. That's why I'm here, and that's why you are seated there. Please, Minority Chief, you may continue.
Speaker, we on this side respect your authority. We will continue to respect your authority. Speaker, where we have dissenting views, we'll make those views, we'll pegate those views with the greatest of respect to you. We will not show any disrespect to you. Speaker, I only made a point, and I'm sure, Speaker, you have taken good notice. On the other matter, I felt our colleague, the Honorable Mutala, made a point ascribing some allegations of J.B. Dankwa being a CIA agent, and he said he had evidence of the J.B. Dankwa being a CIA agent and also a betrayer of the state. So we thought that was outward, that was outlandish, and that was out of place. And it's not parliamentary, but we felt that on this note, we want to make a formal complaint. Speaker, on our side, we want to make a formal complaint to your side, that this should be investigated. The records reflect. Once this is investigated, we should get to the bottom of this, too. It's quite unfortunate we've allowed this to go, and we are not commenting about it. Nobody is attempting to draw parity. No, it is not an attempt to draw parity. The Honorable Dr. Ezanoto knows how we on this side respect her. I respect her a lot. But Speaker, the allegations thrown at J.B. Dankwa cannot be wished away. Speaker, we will pray your wisdom on this matter, and we should bring some finality to it. And I make that point strongly, that it was an parliamentary comment and was totally unnecessary, that it should be expunged from the records, and the Honorable Mutala should be called, should answer some questions, reasons why he made those allegations against J.B. Dankwa.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, indeed, with all due respect, I find the conduct of the minority chief whip very, very appalling. Mr. Speaker, a matter of such grave national significance occurs, and you come, you make a statement, you apologize on behalf of the House to the family and our honorable colleague and to Ghanaians, and all the minority chief whip will seek to do is to equalize. Seeking to equalize. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Murtala stood on his feet in this House and boldly made a statement pursuant to his right to free speech in this chamber. The person who made the comment should also boldly get up and let's see the person. Let that person stand up. If the person is a man, the person should stand up and let's see the person. And the person will not stand up because the person knows that what he did is wrong. If what you did was right, stand up and let's see you. Oh, so you know the person. Do you know the person? Mr. Speaker, I think what the minority chief whip has done is most unfair. If you have issue with what Murtala said, please come properly. Not to use this occasion when the Speaker has so beautifully apologized to this country and to our honorable colleague. Then you try to bring in a statement that Murtala boldly and confidently made in this House, defended it, established that it was written by authors. He cited the authority for what he said. Meredith, you haven't gone to read the book to come back and tell us that the author didn't say it. You haven't done that. And as a member of parliament, he is free to express his views in the chamber, openly and confidently. Not to do this disgraceful thing that was done that day. Hide and then shout and malign somebody for nothing. And when we seek to correct it, you want to politicize it. You want to equalize. Is this the occasion to be seeking to equalize? Honestly, I find this most unfortunate. Please, it's most unfortunate. Let me assure you that indeed some serious investigation is going on. And like I said, the full weight of this side of the House will be brought to bear on the work of the Privileges Committee. So please, let us leave the matter there and let's proceed. Mr. Speaker, we had agreed to take the urgent question.
Honorable. Yes, please. Yes. Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, I think my respected and majority leader should know that we will not do anything to undermine the authority of the Speaker. I only sought to bring a matter to the notice of the Speaker. And it's important you don't mix the two. It's important you don't mix the two. I thought at that time the matter should have brought to the notice of whoever was presiding then. It was not done. It's not too late. we can also bring it to the notice of the Speaker and say that this was done, these comments were made, and these comments were not parliamentary. I don't see anything wrong with this. And for you to say my conduct is appalling, I find it quite strange. Leader, I find it quite strange. That is your view. That is his view. That is his view.
No, you can't do that.
Speaker, I think we will leave this matter here. And he has made an application that we should proceed. But we are delaying, we are overly delaying the debate. Speaker, we are overly delaying. Our side is ready for the debate, and the delay is becoming quite straight. It is becoming too. Where's my side? Where is your side? Your people are supposed to be here. Your people cannot be found. Speaker, so I will accept to say that maybe we should limit the follow-ups, exhaust the questions, and then we can zoom into the debate.
Honorable members, before we go there, let me now tell you the members who are here actually came on demonstration to present a petition. But it looks like we still have a lot to do for members to know, the public, civil society to know how to present a petition to the House. The rules are very clear that petitions are presented through a member of parliament. And the member comes to the House through the process and is given the opportunity to lay the petition. Then the petition is referred to a committee that we have established now, Petitions Committee. They will now go into the petition and then report to the House. Then the House can deliberate upon the matter. That is still not clear to our people outside this House. I'm not even sure some of you know that. So I will proceed to draw your attention to those who are here to present the petition. And in fact, they've been here since, I'm told, before 10 in the morning. They are being led by their national patron in the person of Madame Anita Disoso. They also have their national chairperson in the person of Madame Angel Nutako. The others include the vice chairman, Mr. Geoffrey Atakli Banini, the secretary, Mr. Wolanyon Agradi, organizer, Mr. Aklom Kofi Dodunu, Deputy Treasurer, Ms. Yvette Mototi. The youth organizer is Mr. Elike Amenyau. The public relations officer is Mr. Francis Azohade. And then you have one Mr. James Agama and Mr. Francis Seshi. These are the names submitted to me as those who have come on the demonstration to draw our attention to that unsavory remark. Honorable members, this is your house. You either develop it or you try to destroy it. You know the consequences of that. I preside and now apply the rules strictly. Strictly. Anybody who disagrees is at liberty to do the proper thing. But I'll apply the rules from today on strictly. The matters that you just draw my attention to are all covered by the rules. And so once again, members, take time to read the rules. That reduces this tension in the House. again, take time to let's work together. You see each other as strangers, and in fact, enemies. And so you don't even have patience to listen to each other. Please, that is not what Parliament is about. If that has been the case, there will be no need to establish a Parliament. We'll allow you to, on the street, slug it out there. Then they know who is stronger. But that is not to be. We took time from 2002, an experience to iron out these rules. Don't let's make the rules useless. They are to guide us. We'll get enough time for all of you. Please, just be tolerant of each other's views. We are different. We have different perspectives. That's why we are not members of the same party. Leaders, try and be your leaders. Don't mislead us. You should rather be more patient and tolerant with each other. And you know when one is on the feet, please, you give signal. If you catch the eye of the speaker, he will allow you to speak. And the others will have to resume his or her seat. And then we move on. Ghanaians want to hear you. I'm getting very, very worried and concerned about what is happening. It's not only me. I receive on a daily basis a lot of concerns from elders, not only in Ghana, outside Ghana. We cannot afford to let our people down. Honourable members, I would have preferred we go straight to the debate. But since the leaders want us to take the urgent question, I will proceed to call on the member who has filed the question. And I think there are two members. One, the Member of Parliament for Swami, Mr. John Dakun, and then the Member of Parliament for Asokwa, Ms. Patricia Apieje. So we'll start with the Member of Parliament for Swami. Please, you may ask your question now. Let me listen to the majority leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we said urgent question 7B because 7A, we are told, was not transmitted to the minister. So the Minister for Energy has left. So we are taking only 7B, and there's an agreement that there will be no follow-up questions so that we can move straight to the debate.
Yes, Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, those of us on this side have always shown tolerance. Indeed, we've shown tolerance, Speaker, as you have often counseled. We were struck that the Minister for Energy and Green Transition was programmed to be in the House to give a briefing on energy transition. It took the intervention of the majority leader. We were going to take questions advertised in his name. Speaker, it is very interesting and revealing that that question, 7A, we are being told it was not transmitted, but you transmitted all the questions in the name of the Energy Minister and then even his briefing, and you left out only that question. Very interesting. Speaker, it's very revealing. We will tolerate them, but it is indeed revealing that they left out only that question. Whatever it is, we'll come to it. You cannot hide. You will answer that question. Today or tomorrow, you will answer that question. Speaker, on that note, we will agree that we should proceed.
Minority Chief Whip, you know, no member of parliament transmits questions to ministers. So why are you addressing your colleagues as if they have failed to do so? It is done by the staff of the parliamentary service. The question is admitted by the speaker. It's processed through the clerk. And there's a whole department in charge of transmitting questions and following up on the questions until they are answered. And then the same process, it will be advertised, and the minister will be informed to come and answer. So it's not the failure or refusal of any member of parliament, whether minority or majority, to do so. Please, you know it.
Because we are very tolerant, so we will understand them. So, Speaker, shall we proceed to take 7B?
Actually, what I know about you is you are civil with your language. As for being tolerant, I'm not too sure about that. But for your language, you do all you can to be very civil. And then you respect your colleagues when you are speaking. Tolerance is another matter. Even sometimes, I'm not sure I'm tolerant myself. So it's a human failure, it's a weakness, but we'll try to do so. I can see my friend looking at me. Yes, so we'll take item 7B. Yes?
So we are taking, with respect, the agreement was that we'll take only 7B, after which we'll start the debate.
Yes.
Yes.
7B. 7B. The member of parliament for Asokwa. Well, we will reserve it for her to come and ask appropriately. Yes, Deputy Whip, Minority.
Yes. Speaker, thank you very much. Respectfully, she directed that I ask the questions on her behalf, so subject to your directions, please.
May you read the standing orders?
Speaker,
The appropriate standing order, please.
Speaker, I have a permission to ask the question, so that is what I'm saying. So, Mr. Speaker, with your leave, if...
Why are you struggling? You have the standing orders with you. Just read it.
Speaker,
yes, honorable member, please go on.
thank you very much, Speaker.
There's a question. This is a question. Read it.
Speaker, I rise to ask this question on behalf of Madam Patricia Piaget, which is to ask the Minister for Gender.
Yes.
Children and Social Protection, what measures the ministry has put?
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, just this past weekend, you organize an orientation program to orient members of parliament, to show them how to do their work. This side of the house chose not to attend. And we are seeing the results and the effect of not attending. Mr. Speaker, this is the more reason why this side of the house should have taken advantage of the orientation program that you organized. Because we're taught all these things. So please, let's not politicize these affairs. The Speaker knows what he's doing when he organizes an orientation. Wherever the orientation is, please. It is in Ghana. So you should attend so that you can do this job very well. Mr. Speaker, I think you should be merciful today. Let him ask the question. And I'm sure next time they will take advantage of the orientation program that you will organize. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker, let me let the leader know that the specific order is Order 88.3. That is the order. And the member didn't want to sound verbose. At conclave, he knows, and he was told that the deputy leader is out of jurisdiction. And we agreed there. It was needless for us to repeat that. You were told, you were carried along. You are supposed to carry this house along. Leader, when you speak like this, Leader, when you speak like this, you are a very fine gentleman. We respect you. But when you start punching us and speaking like this, you are compelling us to also come and punch you. And how would you carry the house? It is Order 88.3 if you don't know. We know. We on this side know. So we on this side, we know the others. We are not. It is. Speaker, we will not go into the merits and demerits of what happened over the weekend. We are on record to have written formally and communicated formally. We want to leave it aside. We communicated formally to the clerk our reservations. And Speaker, for the avoidance of doubt, we had said that any time such, and we don't doubt the wisdom of the Speaker. We don't. We on this side do not doubt the wisdom of the Speaker. Those of you sitting at the back saying that you should quote the orders, you better learn your orders well. You better learn your orders. Speaker, the Honorable Jerry Ahmed, Speaker, the Honorable Jerry Ahmed, this caucus has seen some huge potential in him. That is why, Speaker, on our front bench, he is the only first-time member of parliament who has been allowed to sit in front. None of you can sit in front. None of you at the back. None of you at the back will be allowed to sit at the front bench. What you should be doing is to be learning. You should be taking a cue. Why the Honorable Ahmed was recognized by the caucus and was given that mandate to sit in front. You will never sit here at this time. You will never sit here. You will never sit here. So, Speaker, I think the member should be allowed. The member elected not to quote the orders. So, Speaker, the member should be allowed to ask the question. We have spent too much time, and then the debate can start.
Yes, honorable members, the standing order is what the minority chief whip referred to, standing order 88.3. And it says, in the absence of the member, referring to the member who has filed a question, any other member so authorized may, with the prior permission of the speaker, ask the question. So, honorable members, in practice, what you do is to state that I have the authority of the person who has filed the question and who, for good reason, is not available. And I ask your permission. That is referring to me, the speaker, to ask the question. Then you are granted the permission and you proceed to do so. That is the practice. And so I will be holding you people to test. I will hold you. Whether they've gone to hold or they've gone to imprise, so I will hold you. You must go by the rules from now on. I think the honeymoon is over. Yes, so the question has been asked. Minister, you've heard him. You don't need to repeat the question again, unless you want to repeat. Yes, you want to repeat? Please go on.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, just to thank you for the further directions, and I take a cue. And I am most guided, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me appreciate the efforts of Parliament and other stakeholders, especially you, Right Honorable Speaker Alban Bagbin, the efforts you put into ensuring that the bill was passed by the 8th Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is in the process of developing a legislative instrument to guide its implementation. The setting up of the Gender Equity Committee and other related boards are underway to ground our implementation process. These are among other key steps being taken to fulfill the ministry's mandate and the manifesto promises of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We will also engage this August House, especially the Gender Committee, when constituted, to ensure the effective implementation of the Act through its oversight role. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Yes, that is so, Mr. Speaker. Mr.
Yes,
Speaker,
please. Yes.
with your permission, if I can do the follow-ups.
Yes, please.
How soon after your appointment into office will you set up the Gender Equity Committee to oversee the implementation of the Affirmative Action Act, and what resources will you use to ensure the effectiveness of same?
Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As I indicated, the boards are being constituted as we speak. And so, as we have directives and indication from the presidency, we will form the boards, and the Equity Committee will equally be constituted, and work will commence from there.
Yes, Minister, what is the title of the Act? What is the title of the Act?
It's the Gender Affirmative Action Act, the Equity Act, 2020.
Yes, I want it stated clearly. Was what I see on the order paper.
Mr. Speaker, yes, the order paper did not. It's the Affirmative Action Act, Act 2024. That's the Equity Act. is the Gender Affirmative Action Act.
I'm sure you have it. I'm sure you have it in your answer. Or you were also misled. It is Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act 2024 Act. Is there? Yes. Please resume your seat. Sit down. Yes.
Speaker, it is
Minority Chief Whip. Minority
Speaker,
Chief
it
Whip.
is the Affirmative Action
Minority
Gender
Chief Whip.
Equity Act.
Minority Chief Whip. Yes.
Speaker, I thank you for recognizing me. Indeed, all of us are fallible. Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act 2024, Act 1121. That's what it is. That is it. That is it. Speaker, go and repeat. Go and repeat it. Go and repeat. Go and repeat that.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I see my minority chief whip is struggling to equalize again. Mr. Speaker, the minister is normally, even when we're in law school, Mr. Speaker, even in examination halls, Mr. Speaker, you didn't have to cite the number of the act. You didn't have to. Even in examination halls. Even examination halls. And in any case, she mentioned it.
I did.
She mentioned it. She mentioned it.
You were reading it. I mentioned
She mentioned it. And Mr. Speaker, with great effort, they Googled and saw the number. With great effort, they Googled and saw the number. Oh, you are reading from your phone. We saw you were reading from your phone. You Googled it. I think on a lighter note, Mr. Speaker, I think we can continue.
Honorable members, this is a very, very important act. And I want everybody in Ghana to know the title and its contents. It's so crucial to the development of our nation. And that's why we took time to detail it out. And we are going to hold the government. We will hold the government to make sure that the provisions of this act are fully and totally implemented. Notice to the government, the percentage cannot be lowered. Are you all hearing me? That percentage of 30% cannot be lowered. Please, any supplementary question?
That is so, Mr. Speaker. So, can you outline the specific targets and timelines for the implementation of the Act? And how do you plan to adjust if these are not met?
Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I indicated that once we have the committee formed, the ministry itself is in the process of working with CSOs and other stakeholders to ensure that the committees work effectively with this House to start the implementation processes. And so in our budget allocation, some resources have been put in there we have a budget line to ensure effective implementation. Aside the government support that is coming, we are also speaking to DPs who are equally interested in seeing to it that the Act is fully implemented. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You have the last opportunity.
I did not get the response on the timelines. So respectfully, if you can indicate that, so we are aligned.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I repeated that some of the implementation processes are based on the formation of the board and others, which is underway. And on our part, if you want details, we've met with CSOs, and then we are forming some subcommittees to start the implementation processes. We are also waiting on this August House to constitute the gender committee, which plays oversight role. And so when all of these are put in place, definitely you will see more of the actions. Currently, it's more of desk work. And so once we are done, you will see us working.
A supplementary question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Supplementary question to the Minister responsible for gender, children, and social protection on the measures and efficient implementation of the Affirmative Action Act 2024, whether what the Speaker said, the current crop of ministers, whether this has been satisfied or implemented, and what would you do as a minister to ensure that the 30% in the Affirmative Action 2024 is achieved? Thank you, Speaker.
I was looking at the ambit of the question. The question was looking for measures the ministry has put in place to ensure the effective and efficient implementation of the Act. The way you phrase your question, I'm not sure it's within the jurisdiction of the ministry, that aspect that you are talking about. So it's very difficult. But if the minister has a response, we will be prepared to listen to her. Are you the minister?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as we are all well aware, the government is in the process of being formed. And so we are watching and looking out. In any case, what has been done so far gives us hope that the 30% or more than 30% target is on course. Currently, we are all appointments that have been made, we are around 23% plus. And so that gives us more hope that with the forthcoming ones, we will meet the target as stated in the Affirmative Action Act. Thank you.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, The minister just informed this House that so far appointments made, 23% of same meet that threshold, and that gives hope. Is the minister aware that in the cabinet of which he is a member, it's only 10% that has been allocated for women thus far? Is she aware?
Yes, prelude to the debate. Prelude to the debate. Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. If the Honorable Minority Leader had listened to me well, he would have heard me say that all appointments that have been made, including cabinet ministers, so all appointments. Right, Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Minority Leader, yes.
This is a House of Records, and the Honorable Minister knows that when she enters the dispatch box, she can only deal with facts. With the greatest respect, the government announced its cabinet, and Mr. President communicated his cabinet to the Speaker. The Speaker read the cabinet to this House. Perhaps I may give you some updates. Of the 19, I heard, and you said if I heard you right. So let me put to you what I heard from what Mr. Speaker read. It is you and Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Ajare who were the only ministers, female, that, respectfully, that I heard as being part of the cabinet. If you calculate, it is 10% and not more. Are you saying that this 10% meets the 30% threshold? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think you had given some earlier guides. You had indicated that the question the follow-up question should fall within the ambit of the main question. So, Speaker, I think the Minority Leader should be so guided by you. What has the question of the composition of cabinet in terms of gender got to do with this specific question? There's no relationship. There's no relationship. There's no relationship. There's no relationship.
Mr. Speaker, relying on Order 89, and I shall read. As soon as a question is answered, any member beginning with the member who asks the question may, without notice, ask a supplementary question for further clarification of any matter of fact on the answer. But a supplementary question shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question. Yes, relax. Mr. Speaker, would the Majority Leader be patient and tolerant for this exercise? Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister at the dispatch box told this House that so far the appointment made meet the threshold. Mr. Speaker, appointments are in categories. We have the cabinet of the president. And I am saying that per the communication from the president, this is coming from your own answer, not me. And I am anchoring my supplementary question on your own answer in accordance with Order 89. Mr. Speaker, if the minister says that so far government has complied in terms of appointment made, I am asking her whether she is aware that the cabinet composition has only 2 women, and that 2 is herself and Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Ajare, and that amount to only 10%. You said I didn't hear you, right? I heard you. Are you aware that in your own cabinet you are only 2 women out of 19? Are you aware? Mr. Speaker, this is a question that the minister must answer. The majority leader should not attempt to shield the minister. The minister must answer this.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the minority leader should be guided by our standing orders. Order 89(1) that he seeks to rely on says that as soon as a question is answered, any member beginning with the member who asks the question may, without notice, ask a supplementary question for further clarification of any matter of fact or on the answer. But a supplementary question, listen. But a supplementary question shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question. It is the original question. The original question is the yardstick, not the answer. The original question, the question is the yardstick for further questions. Otherwise, you have to give the minister time to go, and then you ask a proper question, they'll come back. So please, Mr. Speaker, the question he's asking doesn't arise from the original question. That's my point. I'm saying that even asking based on the answer is not okay. The rule is very clear that the yardstick is whether or not your further question falls within the original question. The original question. It didn't say the answer. It didn't say the answer, the original question.
I think it's proper we move into the debate. Let's use this as the prelude to the debate. Yes, minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, I am ever ready to go on that jurisprudence part with the majority leader. Mr. Speaker, if he wants us to deal with the question, then let's read the question. The question reads, to ask the Minister for Gender and Children and Social Protection, what measures the ministry has put in place to ensure the effective and efficient implementation of the Affirmative Action Act 2024. Mr. Speaker, the minister is in office. Government is being formed. Her duty in ensuring implementation is what the questioner wants to know. In the process of assuring this House that measures are being put in place, she then added that appointments made so far have all complied. And Mr. Speaker, I am asking her, emanating from her own answer and anchoring it also on the question, which is not new, to demand of her whether or not she is aware that the President of the Republic, fully aware of this act, based upon which he appointed you as a minister, and you are assuring this House that so far they've complied. Are you aware that in his own cabinet, of which you are a member, only 2 of you out of 19 have been announced as cabinet ministers? We have Minister for Fisheries. She did not make it to cabinet. To make it 30%, only 10%. And the majority leader is preventing you from answering when it's a matter of public record? Mr. Speaker, the minister must answer this question. So you should tell us that your government has failed in putting in place measures to meet this 30% threshold. You should let us know. The government has failed. Mr. Speaker, the government has thus failed in meeting this threshold. So answer. It's a question, it's not out of order, it's within the remit of Order 89. You will answer. Mr. Speaker, please get her to answer this question.
Yes, Honorable Suhini.
Thank you very much. Right, Honorable Speaker, I just want to draw the majority leader's attention to the minority leader's attention to Order 81-2, which says that a question shall be restricted to matters for which the minister, the member or the head of independent constitutional body is responsible, or which affect the general policy of the ministry or independent constitutional body. Mr. Speaker, in this case, she is not responsible for appointing people to cabinet. Again, Mr. Speaker, the answer the minority leader is seeking to find out, like he himself has correctly stated, is a matter of public record. And we are also told in this House that you don't ask questions of ministers on matters that are already known to this House. And for that matter, a matter of public record. Mr. Speaker, the minority leader is only concerned about making a statement and restating, I'm sure for the public gallery, that cabinet appointments is short of meeting 30%. That's all he seems to be interested in. Mr. Speaker, in that case, I'll suggest to him to do a statement that I'm sure you'll be kind enough to admit, so that he can make that statement on the floor and not pass it through a question. Because clearly what he is doing is not questioning the minister. It is just making a statement for the media and for the public to take note of the fact that, oh, there are only 2 women that have been appointed. Thank you.
You want us to continue? I thought we should move to... Wait, sorry?
Respect. Mr. Speaker, with respect, the minister has made a statement on this House floor which contradicts public records. Mr. Speaker, the minister cannot escape this. In all humility, she told us that all appointments made have met the 30% threshold. That is what she said. Mr. Speaker, that is what she said. She says that, Mr. Speaker, they have met that threshold. Mr. Speaker, let the minister answer the question. Because all this protection, I don't see why all of them are preventing the minister from answering. She should answer the question. If the question is out of order, that should go into the record, and I will submit. Mr. Speaker, I've asked the question. If you think that the question does not meet the requirements of Order 89, rule me out of order and let the records take note of it, and then we all be guided by posterity. But as far as I'm concerned, the question has been asked, the minister would have to answer, no matter the protection from the majority leader and my respected friend Suhini, who is trying to go under the 81 to create his own issue. I don't mind, but the question must be answered.
Well, from the basis of your further supplementary question, I think you got it wrong, because the minister clearly stated that so far the percentage of appointment is 23. She stated in the answer, but she did not say anything about 30%. I just listened to you. I'm trying to correct the error you've made as the basis for your further supplementary question. Because you stated that she said that the appointments have met the 30% threshold. And I'm saying she didn't say so. She said 23%, not 30%. So, please, may we proceed to the debate, because I know it's an issue that is dear to members, and that you raise it again. I am very, very clear in my mind, and my passion for this bill is beyond measure. And so I will support any person who wants to see the total implementation of the provisions of the bill. I will do that. So let's proceed to the debate. Yes, Deputy Minority Whip.
Mr. Speaker, I still have 3 more supplementary questions. I still have 3 more supplementary.
Well, please, can you read the standing orders?
Mr. Speaker, I'm guided by Standing Order 89.3, and
Yes.
with your permission, I read the 3.
Yes.
Any other member may be allowed to ask not more than 2 supplementary questions, except that the majority and minority leader or co-leaders may each ask not more than 5 supplementary
So
questions.
where do you come? Are
Mr.
you
Speaker,
a leader or co-leader?
Mr. Speaker, it is Mr. Speaker, the interpretation, Mr. Speaker, the interpretation, Mr. Speaker, the interpretation on the standing orders, but with my understanding, the minority leader and the majority leader is mentioned. And then when you move further to say, or the co-leaders, you can guide me, Mr. Speaker, but my understanding is that.
Honorable member, what is the interpretation of co-leader in the standing orders? Is there the interpretation of co-leader is there in the standing orders? What does it say?
Mr. Speaker, even though I'm guided as leadership mentioned in the standing orders, my understanding with the Order 89.3 has been loaded on our screen. If you mention the majority leader and the minority leader, my understanding is that the co-leaders are the other leaders. But if it is not the case, Mr. Speaker, if it is not the case, I am guided. If it is not the case, I am guided. But I know that Mr. Speaker can always create room to accommodate us and allow us to ask questions.
We thank you for attending to our call. We are extremely grateful, and you are discharged. Let's move on to another item. I have a request from the First Deputy Speaker to move the motion on the...
Apologies for cutting the live proceedings of parliamentary sittings over there. You would have to take your live to the Accra International Conference Center, where day 2 of the National Economic Dialogue is underway. Now, the 2-day event, which ends today, is on the theme Resetting Ghana, Building the Ghana We Want. Let's go live to the Accra International